Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you my match reaction for the Manchester United Sheffield United game. It's just ended, Manchester United 3, Sheffield United 0 at Old Trafford. Very good result. Like I said, prior to the game, Manchester United needed to win this game to keep our top 4 ambitions alive. We are now just sitting at 2 points behind Chelsea, and we have now extended our unbeaten run to 13 in all competitions, and this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager and all of that. I thought, we totally dominated the game. We really did. We showed a lot of intensity. We was very fluent in attack as well. I thought, Rashford had a really good game. Mason Greenwood, he also had a really good game. Bruno Fernandes and, Paul Pogba did very well together in our midfield. I also thought Matic, did very well as well. By the way, Paul Pogba did start the game. That was his first start since September. Also Paul Pogba created some good chances in the game. But I thought, more or less everyone put a shift in. Of course, all 3 goals came from Anthony Martial. That's his first senior hat-trick, for Manchester United. All 3 goals were very good. And, his finishing, was just emphatic. Obviously, Rashford had got 2 of the assists for 2 of Anthony Martial's goals. And Wan-Bissaka, of course, got the other assist. So Anthony Martial had been given the man of the match. But we totally dominated the game, like I said. We had some good chances in the game. So in reality, it should have been more than 3-0. We also, had more touches in the box than Sheffield United. And we also had more shots than Sheffield United. I think we had around, 15 shots in the game. And we created around 15 chances. I thought Sheffield United, were very poor. I think in the first 4 minutes, there was okay, but, prior to that weren't so good. After that water break, they did liven up a little bit, But David De Gea basically in our goal had nothing to do. So Sheffield United, I don't think, created anything in the game. Marcus Rashford, he should have got his name on the score sheet. He had some good chances in the first half. Martial, should have had more than that trick because he had that chance. He actually, decided not to shoot, in the first half. He decided to square it to Rashford, but obviously, Rashford had been tackled. But from my own perception, Martial should have side-footed that in. Bruno Fernandes had that great chance from that free kick in the first half. But it's definitely, Bruno Fernandes that has made the difference in the Manchester United team. He really has. I think Bruno Fernandes has got, 4 goals now and 4 assists for the football club. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. We got Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth £65 million with add-ons included. And definitely Bruno Fernandes is a foreseeable future for Manchester United. My own perception on Anthony Martial is that I think he's confounded his critics wrong. He's enjoyed an exceptional season this season under Solskjaer. Martial has been operating in that number 9 role. And I think, he's very effective in that central role, even though he does predominantly play out wide. But I think, Marcus Rashford is actually, more effective out wide, to be quite honest with you. I really do. This has been Martial's 5th season at Manchester United. And he's done well this season. He's also enjoyed some difficult times. I think, one of the best seasons he enjoyed was his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. We did pay, £36 million for Anthony Martial, potentially rising up to 57 or was it £58 million based on goals and achievements. We got him as a 19-year-old and he's now 24. So I think definitely, Martial is a foreseeable future for Manchester United, So, yeah, obviously, he got man of the match. Mason Greenwood, I think he's also enjoyed an exceptional season. Solskjaer made the right decision, by starting Mason Greenwood. I did say in my preview, that he would start Mason Greenwood in this game. Obviously, he started Greenwood, Daniel James was dropped. Greenwood, of course, was playing on the right-hand side. And I thought, he had a really good game today, did Mason Greenwood. Obviously, Fred didn't start the game today. Matic, I was actually, very, very impressed with Nemanja Matic. I thought, he contributed very, very well. Matic is a lot of aspects of his game have really, really improved. He's slow, but I still think he's really, really improved. This has been Matic's now third season at Manchester United. Of course, we did pay £40 million in from Chelsea back in 2017 and all of that. But I've been very, very delighted with Paul Pogba. I knew he was going to start the game today. I should have got his name on the score sheet because, like I mentioned, he had some really, really good chances. And I think that partnership between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes is going to really work out. And like I said, I think Bruno Fernandes is key to Paul Pogba's future at Manchester United. I really, really do. I think Paul Pogba could end up signing a new long-term contract at the football club. Obviously, we did pay £89 million for Paul Pogba. He is our most expensive signing at the moment. And he's one of the highest paid players at the football club because he's on just under £300,000 a week and that. I thought Shaw, did quite well at left back as well. Carved some openings, showed good attacking intent on that left-hand side, did Luke Shaw. Can't really say out on De Gea, because he had nothing to do in the game. Lindelof and Maguire, did really, really well at the back. I did say, didn't I? I thought Bay might have played ahead of Victor Lindelof, but obviously, that isn't the case. To be quite honest with you. Again, and Wan-Bissaka at right back, he also, did very, very well. Like I mentioned, also got an assist. But, we totally dominated the game. We really, really did and all of that. Defensively good, showed good attacking intent, had chances and all of that. And that is, very, very good to see. I was very surprised at Sheffield United, because they basically, did nothing in the game. Of course, they had John Egan missing. He was suspended. He got sent off in Sheffield United's 3-0 defeat to Newcastle at the weekend. David McGoldrick, wasn't too good for them. They had David McGoldrick and Musset up front. There was also missing Jack O'Connell as well. Of course, Dean Henderson, wasn't playing for Sheffield United, due to personal reasons and that. And, you saw my preview, didn't you? I admired Sheffield United because I think they've enjoyed an exceptional season and no one expected them to be in the position that they're in, Sheffield United, because, they have done very, very well. And I think, Chris Wilder's done a really, really good job with Sheffield United. But obviously, since the season resumed, they've obviously, been very, very poor. They haven't scored a single goal yet of Sheffield United, since the football season resumed. But, Sheffield United is the fifth club in Chris Wilder's managerial career. This has been his fourth season now at Sheffield United. And he's progressed them from League One, to 8th or 9th in the Premier League and all of that. But yeah, it was good to beat Sheffield United. Of course, in the game earlier on in the season, it was 3-3 at Bramall Lane. And, like I said, we had to come back from 2-0 down in that game. We scored like 3 times in 7 minutes. We had a good 15-20 minute spell and all of that, but we did concede late on. But I think in the game today, it was totally, contrast, to the one at Bramall Lane earlier on in the season. We haven't been too bad at Old Trafford this season, to be quite honest with you. I will be doing another video, by the way, I think tomorrow, to give you my player ratings and all of that. But we just dominated, the whole game. Like I said, we also dominated the possession as well. But a lot of aspects of our game, have really, really improved. And, I think, we can definitely, finish the season on a high. We've got now 7 games remaining in the Premier League. And I think in reality, we should win now at least 6 of those 7 remaining games. Because the top 4 is definitely a priority for us. Because, we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. We want qualification for the Champions League for next season. Because obviously, it will help us have a competitive summer transfer market. And plus, we will generate money. And, we've also got other priorities as well. Obviously, the FA Cup is a priority for us and the Europa League is a priority for us because, that is a chance for us, winning trophies under Ole Gunnar, winning 2 trophies under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that, we are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We have got Norwich on Saturday in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, so in reality we should progress to the semi-finals of the FA Cup and all of that. We really, really should, because Norwich are bottom of the league. This has been the 6th consecutive season we have progressed to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. It's Norwich's first time in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup since the 1991-1992 season, and we've already beaten Norwich twice this season. We're beating them 4-0, and we're beating them 3-1 and that, so we are looking to beat Norwich for the 3rd time. We're more or less into the last 8 of the Europa League, because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg and all of that. But I think we can definitely finish the season on a high. I really, really doing that. But in this game against Sheffield, like I said, Solskjaer did make changes. I did say in my preview, didn't I? He would make changes. From the 1-1 draw against Tottenham. To be quite honest with you, I thought we was very, very unlucky. not to beat Tottenham. We had his chances in the game against Tottenham and that, but we just did not convert them. So we was unlucky not to beat Tottenham. I think our next league game is Brighton, and I think the next league game after that is Bournemouth. So we have got an easy running. We really, really have, and all of that. By the way, in the game as well, Solskjaer had brought all his 5 substitutions on in one go. Of course, he brought Odin Igalo on. Like I said, didn't I, on Odin Igalo, his starts will now be limited at Manchester United. His appearances now will come from the substitutes bench with Igalo's. And he did really, really well when he came on, to be honest with you. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, Odin Igalo's loan had been extended at the football club for until the end of January 2021. So we know Igalo's going to be here for another 7 months. With no option to buy Igalo, there's no obligation to buy him. So at the end of the loan, I think, Igalo will go back to Shanghai Shenhua. Also, too, Scott McTominay came on. I thought McTominay had a good game against Tottenham. I thought he did okay, when he came on today as well. And McTominay, is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Don't forget we had the good news recently that, McTominay had signed a 5-year contract at Manchester United. So he's under contract with the football club until 2025, plus there's an option of a further year. Solskjaer did say that McTominay has been he's been a part of the club for a long time now. McTominay has been with us since 2012, and he made his senior debut in 2017 against Arsenal. And since then, I think McTominay has gone to make like 76 appearances for Manchester United and all of that. We also saw Mata come on as well. When Mata, his appearances are now limited at Manchester United. But when Mata, does get his chances, he does really, really well. Mata is now into his 6th season at Manchester United. Of course, we did pay £40 million, or I think the deal was worth up to £40 million from Chelsea and all of that. We also brought Andres Pereira on as well. He came on in the game, did Andres Pereira. I did say, regarding Pereira, didn't I? Most of these appearances now will come from the substitutes bench, because since McTominay came back, Pereira has found starts very, very difficult. And also, too, we saw Daniel James come on. Daniel James may not get as many starts now. Daniel James. I'd actually prefer to play Greenwood ahead of Daniel James on that right-hand side. Daniel James can play on the left. He can also play on the right, but he's actually more effective from that left-hand side. But obviously, Rashford plays on that left-hand side and all of that. So he brought all his 5 substitutions on in one go. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. So there you go. But Sheffield United, will be, disappointed. They haven't been too bad on the road this season. Obviously, they lost to City away this season. I think they lost to Liverpool away as well, and obviously, they've lost to us today. but they'll be still happy, with the season, that they have enjoyed. Sheffield United have still got some, very, very good players in their team. I think one of the best players, they've got is Norwood. Billy Sharp's not done bad for them. Musset hasn't done bad for them. They've got some other good players as well of Sheffield United. John Fleck, he isn't a bad player for them. McBurney, he isn't a bad player for them as well. But, this has been Sheffield United, first season in the Premier League since 2006-7 season and all of that. But I did say, didn't I, it was going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to approach this game and that. And I did say, didn't I, he was going to tactically get it right. But it was just so good to watch Manchester United today. We didn't only create chances in the game. Some of our build-up play was very, very good. We pressed very, very well. Football was very, very expansive in that. Today, it was like, glimpses of the Alex Ferguson era, because we used to play like that under, the Alex Ferguson era. We really, really did. But yeah, I definitely think we can finish the season on a high. Now, don't forget, we've got to obviously, make signings in the summer transfer window. I think, if we can get the right caliber players in the summer transfer window, I think, we can be title contenders next season, I really, really do. Like I updated you on my video that I did this morning, Solskjaer's give us an update on his transfer plans. And he did say, that Manchester United have got to spend money, to, challenge for the title next season and to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, because analysing at the moment, City and Liverpool are strides ahead of us. But Solskjaer did say that we will do business in the summer transfer window, if players become available for the right price. But Solskjaer's looking to make around 3 or 4 major signings at the end of the season. This is, what he's looking to do. I heard stories the other week saying that our transfer budget has been revealed. It did say, we're going to get around £270 million to spend in the summer transfer window. And if that is the case, that should be enough for us, to get the right number of players in. Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. He already has in that. But Solskjaer, did say, we are not too far away from challenging for the title. You had Pep Guardiola, recently coming out saying that Man United, could challenge for the title next season and all of that. But next season, our expectations will be to challenge for the title, because I did say our expectations at the start of this season, would have been, to finish in the top 4 and maybe, get some silverware on the board. But, this has been the 7th season now. We have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. And that just indicates how inconsistent we have been for the last 7 years or so. By the way, Harry Maguire, he had a disallowed goal today as well in the first half, but I think, he'd actually, pushed one of the Sheffield United players, so it had, rightly, been disallowed. It had, rightly, been disallowed and all of that. But overall, very, very good performance, by Manchester United. Very, very good performance. But the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's second summer transfer window as Manchester United manager. Of course, he's already overseen one summer transfer window, but in total, it will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window at Manchester United. And like I've already said to I have seen improvements under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I've also seen changes under him. He's made some tactical changes, he's made some good decisions, he's made some bad decisions. There's obviously still big decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to make at Manchester United. We've definitely improved in the transfer market under him, because obviously Solskjaer's brought 5 good players into the football club, and he has spent just over £200 million on them. Obviously, last summer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in, and in January brought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in and that. Solskjaer's been at the football club now for 18 months. And I've taken positives from his tenure. Like I said, he's also promoted the youth very, very well. the young players have been given their chance. Greenwood's been flourishing. Williams has also done very, very well. Again, Williams didn't play any part today. But there's some young players, by the way, that have found game time, very, very difficult at Manchester United. They have found, game time very, very difficult and that. But, Solskjaer, did say, when he first got appointed in as Manchester United manager, he did say that everybody, would get their chances to express themselves. And this is, exactly, what he has done. But, definitely, Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. We've got to give him at least another season because, like I said, it is a transition period in that. And maybe, Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Maybe he is. Maybe he can get us back, to where we want to be. He won't obviously, replicate Ferguson's legacy, but no manager, at Manchester United or in general would replicate Ferguson's legacy, and no one would last as long as Alex Ferguson. But maybe, Solskjaer, can get us back, to where we want to be. Maybe he can do that. But don't forget, earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And reflecting on that at that current time, Solskjaer was under pressure. And I said to what saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United, was definitely the signing of Bruno Fernandes. Also, reflect on how good my record has been against the top 6 sides. You can say that's also saved Solskjaer's job at Manchester United as well. Maybe with him being a club legend, that has a big part to play in it as well. Because Solskjaer, was a great player for Manchester United for 11 years and that. But yeah, so, like I said, Solskjaer's still got, decisions to make at Manchester United. He really, really has. Like I said, he's got a goalkeeping decision to make, on David De Gea and Dean Henderson. Like he updated you this morning, he did say that Solskjaer has set a deadline. He said he's going to give David De Gea around 12 months to rescue his career and all of that. Because Solskjaer, did say in regards to Dean Henderson that he's not yet ready to become Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper. But he did say, that Dean Henderson has been developing well at Sheffield United. And he also, said that he's been coached well at Sheffield United. And, this has been Dean Henderson's second season on loan with Sheffield United and all of that. But he said, he's not ready, to become our #1 as yet. But there has still been rumours saying that, we are considering making Dean Henderson our #1 goalkeeper next season. Of course, David De Gea was heavily criticised by Roy Keane in the 1-1 draw with Tottenham. Reflects on, Steven Bergwijn's goal. You can say David De Gea was accountable for it. But Solskjaer, responded to Roy Keane's criticism and he'd actually, come out and defended David De Gea. But can't really have a perception on David De Gea today because, he basically, had nothing to do in the whole game. This is now David De Gea's ninth season at Manchester United. He is approaching his 10th year at the football club, is David De Gea. Like I said, he's been a liability in the last couple of years, but I think David De Gea has had 7 good years out of the 9 years he has been here and all of that. David De Gea is still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, reflecting on what he's achieved. He's obviously, won everything domestically. He's won individual awards as well. He's nearly made 400 appearances for us in all competitions and that. So obviously De Gea is going to remain our #1 for the remainder of this season. And maybe next season, David De Gea, could be our #1 and all of that. A bit of a dilemma at left back, but I think, to be honest with Luke Shaw's done very, very well at left back for us. We've got Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams at left back, but Luke Shaw's more experienced than Brandon Williams. I think now Solskjaer knows his best midfield. So there's still decisions, that he has got to make at the football club. Like I mentioned, on my video yesterday, there's 6 players that have got points to prove at Manchester United. Because obviously, there's quite clearly some players in our squad that are finding game time very, very difficult. Some of them players have obviously, had injuries and that. But, quite clearly, these still deadwood at the football club. And obviously, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Manchester United. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood. But, he's planning to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. This is what, he's planning to do. I think we're going to be looking to get rid of Phil Jones, because Phil Jones doesn't even get in the team now. I think he's just come back from injury. Tuan Zebe now, I think he's just recently come back from injury, because Jones and Tuan Zebe were missing for the 1-1 draw against Tottenham and all of that. We'll look to offload Jesse Lingard and Andres Pereira. Of course, we're looking to get rid of Chris Smalling and Marcus Rojo on permanent transfers as well. We've obviously got to make a decision on Angel Gomez. Don't forget Solskjaer did say in the press conference prior to this game against Sheffield United that he has no update on Angel Gomez's contractual situation. Solskjaer did say in the press conference prior to the Tottenham game that he said, Angel Gomez was close to signing a new contract, but no agreement has yet been reached. I think the recent contract we'd offered Angel Gomez was around £30,000 a week, but we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but obviously, he hasn't accepted any of these. So Solskjaer's got big decisions to make at Manchester United and all of that. But yeah, I think he's going to be definitely here for next season and that. I will make an admission, I was very, very critical of Solskjaer early on in the season. But a lot of Manchester United fans were very, very critical of him. But, there's explanations behind, why I was critical of him. But like I said, for 7 years, there has been so many problems at the football club. There's been cultural problems at the club. We've obviously, there's been problems with Ed Woodward and the Glazers, because, a lot of our fans, including me, have been criticising Ed Woodward and the Glazers, for several years and that. Woodward's been with us since 2012. Of course, the Glazers have been with us since 2005. We have made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years as well, and that is one of the main explanations, why we have been so inconsistent and all of that. But at the end of the day, I want things to work out under Solskjaer and that, we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers at the end of the day, because we've already sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era, and of course that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho and all of that. In the last 7 years, we've only won 3 trophies, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. In the last 7 years, we spent close to the £1 billion range on players, so in reality, we should be in Liverpool's position, but we're not. And, we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. Since the Alex Ferguson era and all of that. Recruited a hell of a lot of players in. Obviously, earlier on today, I kept you up to date, what was going on with all the transfer news and all of that. I give you the news on Jude Bellingham. Of course, he's going to Borussia Dortmund by the looks of things. The news on Jadon Sancho. Now, Borussia Dortmund have said that they want around 170 million for Jadon Sancho, but Solskjaer's ruled out big transfers to Man United. Jadon Sancho's our number 1 priority target. Of course, Jack Grealish, he's another one of our priority targets as well. But there has, been so many players on our agenda and all of that. But it'll be interesting to see, who we can recommend in the summer transfer window. Don't forget, Ed Woodward did say last month, or was it just over a month or so ago, that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market. But he did say we won't do business as usual. Our net debt is just over 429 million now. Our debt had risen up by almost £130 million. But, analysing it, I'm happy, with the squad we have got at the moment. Very, very happy with it. But we just need a few more signings, if we want to be, on City and Liverpool's level and all of that. Because I did say, didn't I, probably the vast majority of our top 6 rivals, are probably not going to make any signings. Especially, probably not many Galactico signings anyway and that. Chelsea are probably going to be up there next season, because they've done really, really good business in this transfer they've done really, really good business. The transfer window isn't even open yet. Obviously, they got Hakim Ziyech in February for 38 million. They got Werner recently for just 48 million pounds. Now they try to get Kai Havertz. Ben Chilwell is their number 1 priority target in that. So Chelsea, have done really, really good business. But like I said to you, our recruitment policy's been poor for several years. But it has definitely, improved under Solskjaer. So that's obviously, very, very good. And that, we're not overpaying for players because we've overpaid for players in recent years. I will admit that. But, things have definitely, improved under the Norwegian. They're really, really having that. Man United is the third club in Solskjaer's managerial career. Because obviously before he was at us, he was at Molde, won a couple of Norwegian titles with Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. Of course, he enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. He only managed 29 games for Cardiff. The main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because, he got, Cardiff relegated. Solskjaer, he does, he knew some of this team, obviously, when he got appointed in, because obviously, he watched some of this team at this day and age go and develop, when he managed the Manchester United reserve team from 2008, to 2010, But yeah, maybe there's still things Solskjaer needs to work on and that, don't get me wrong. But, I'm starting to now see, the old Manchester United, I really, really am in that. But we're on a 13-game unbeaten run. We've scored a lot of goals in these 13 games. We're unbeaten. We haven't conceded many as well. Have we won around 9 or 10 of these games out of the 13, we're unbeaten in? The last time we lost was the 2-0 defeat to Burnley. That is the last time Manchester United lost. But, we are one of the biggest clubs in the world with a fantastic history, a fantastic fan base. Most successful team in England, don't forget, 20 titles, 13 of them Premier League, so don't forget that. But yeah, very, very good win for Manchester United. We'll be on probably tomorrow now with the player ratings. So there you go. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.